For Black History Month, I'm talking about the work of one black biblical scholar or theologian every day, and today is Melanie Harris's book, The Gifts of Virtue, Alice Walker and Womanist Ethics. Like Katie Cannon's Black Womanist Ethics, Melanie Harris's The Gifts of Virtue is an attempt to lay out a comprehensive moral vision from the perspective of black women in the contemporary United States, using a list of morally excellent habits, aka virtues, that an individual can cultivate in their lives. Unlike Katie Cannon, who derives her list of 4 virtues from the life and work of Zora Neale Hurston, Melanie Harris derives her list of 7 virtues directly from the life and work of Alice Walker who proposed the foundational definition of womanism. Harris's 7 virtues are generosity, graciousness, compassion, spiritual wisdom, audacious courage, justice, and good community. As a person who's interested in moral philosophy in general and in virtue ethics in particular, one of the things I find most exciting and unique about Harris's list of virtues is how much they depend on relationality in order to be expressed. Most of the classical virtues of Western thought are highly individualistic and don't require any relationships at all in order to express. Courage is usually just how brave a person is. Temperance is how much self-control a person has. Wisdom is how discerning a person is. Even justice gets spun by Plato as a balance between the various elements in our soul and not necessarily anything having to do with social relations and their degree of equity. Even the 3 theological virtues derived from Paul's epistles of faith, hope, and charity often get described in exclusively individualistic terms. Harris's virtues, by contrast, flourish in, if not outright require, deep relationships with other people. For example, Harris describes the virtue of compassion not just as a degree of sympathy or pity, but as our ability to make and sustain connections with others towards the end of freedom for all beings. Harris describes spiritual wisdom not just as a kind of individual theological discernment, but as the ability to both lead and serve in a religious community. Harris's unique commitment to relationality is also evident in her description of the vices that are the opposite of these virtues. All of the vices Harris describes result in various forms of social isolation and incline us to instrumentalize each other in the pursuit of our own selfish ends. Putting forward a persuasive and coherent moral philosophy is a big enough achievement as is, but the fact that Harris is able to ground all this in the biography of Alice Walker is the most impressive part of her project to me. And it's also a testament to womanism's continued commitment to find value in the experiences of black women.